go ahead and get started. Again, AP exams. Everybody who is here should know this information. Now, for a lot of the seniors, some of this information should sound very familiar when you were freshmen. But since this time, we've had 2 administrations for AP exams that have been digital, virtual. They are no longer digital, they are no longer virtual. Hope that's not a surprise to anybody. Hope your teachers have been notifying you, letting you know about that. Today we're going to go through a few things. We're going to go through some testing schedule. Come on in, guys, come on in. The sooner you guys get in, the sooner I can get through this. Come on. Grab a seat anywhere. We're going to go through. Hopefully everybody grabbed a map. If you didn't grab a map, make sure you get one on your way out. The maps are on the table in the back. The schedule is on one side, the map is on the other. Let's go, guys. Come on in, grab a seat. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen, grab seats, let's go. All right. If you guys look up front, ladies, gentlemen, I get you guys, I have no problem with you guys eating, not a problem. Just make sure that when you're done eating, throw your trash away. I've got a lot of information I want to go through. Ladies, gentlemen, in the back, thank you.
You got exactly that number.
All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are giving close to 3,000 exams. Some of you might be asking, I'll wait. Gentlemen, guys, come on. Thank you. I know it's a lot of you in here. My hope is that, again, my hope is that all 1,200 plus students who are taking AP exams hear this information. It's very important. Every year, we always have a few students who have no clue what's going on for AP testing. So I want to make sure, especially for our 9th graders and 10th graders that have never tested in person before, this is very important. For our seniors and our juniors, you guys, we're going back to the original plan of what we did when you guys were freshmen and sophomores. If you guys look up top here, it's basically saying we have close to 3,000 exams, 1,200 students take the exams. There's no way that we can give all of these exams in this building. Someone said, Mr. Mamana, why are we not doing all the testing here? We would have to cross off or close off about 20 to 30 classrooms every day for 2 weeks. You guys could be redirected, different places, so we use USG. Now, if you guys look at the schedule that you have in front of you, that schedule is very, very important. If you got your cell phones, I know no one's into paper and pencil. I got it. Take your cell phone, take a picture of it right now. That is the most updated schedule. I've given it to your teachers. Hopefully your teachers have shared it with you. That schedule will tell you the day of the exam. It tells you what time the exam is, and it says next to the exam, it says Wootton High School or USG. USG is over at the University of Shady Grove. Obviously, Wootton is here. And it'll tell you down at the bottom some important things to make sure as reminders print, like pencils, your You should be bringing pens. You should bring a calculator if you're part of one of those exams that you can bring a calculator for. And I'll go through more of this information. This is very important. I've already got a couple parents that have said, Mr. Mamana, how are we getting to USG? It's every student's responsibility to get there. Unfortunately, we don't have buses that take us from Wootton to USG. Think about it. If the exam starts at 8 o'clock, it means you are putting pencil to paper. You are reading the instructions at 8 o'clock. You need to be there at 7:30 so I can get you into your classes. There's no way that we would be able to get you from home to here to there at USG at 7:30. So we're asking, especially for the underclassmen who don't drive, please start talking to your friends in your class about carpooling. Maybe mom or dad can drive a group of you, and someone else's mom or dad can pick you guys up. Just know that anybody who is testing, again, anybody who is testing on that day is excused from classes. So if you have a morning class, you have an 8 o'clock exam, biology exam, you're excused from moving classes the whole day. If you have a chemistry exam at 2 o'clock or 12 o'clock until 4 o'clock, you are excused from all of your classes. That means morning class. You do not have to come to school on that day. Not for the whole week, just for that day. Every day I give the attendance secretary, Ms. Vicente, a list of students who will be testing. And she excuses you so your teachers see that. You're excused for the whole day. Some of you might want to come in for a review session in the morning, that's fine, but you need to make sure that you let your teachers know. Your teacher's going to put in, or it's going to be put in as being excused. Excused absence for anybody taking an AP exam for the whole day, whether it's morning or afternoon. If you look at this last year, there are certain places there are 4 buildings on USG. How many people here have been to USG? University of Shady Grove, right up here. Okay? There's still a lot of people that have not. It's a very small campus. If you look at, there's 4 basic buildings. We will be in 3 of the 4 buildings. They put a beautiful new biotech building up, which is building 4. We're not in any of that. But if you want to go between now and test, especially during spring break, just check out the campus, you can walk in 3 minutes. You get onto the campus, there's 3 major buildings. It's like walking from here to the Commons. That's how close these buildings are. Well, once you get onto campus, you need to know where you're going to be dropped off and where you need to go. If you look at the drop-off, you can come in 2 places. Where Shady Grove Road comes in, does everybody know where Shady Grove Road is and Darnestown Road? If you go by Shady Grove Road, there's a fire station on the corner, and then there's this big building, it's a parking garage, and it has a big TV screen on it. That big TV screen is USG. That's one of the buildings. That Shady Grove garage, which is all the way down on the right. That is one of the garages that you can park in if you're an upperclassman and you're driving. Okay? Or your parents can park there. If your parents are dropping you off or an older brother or sister is dropping you off, you see where it says drop off? Uber or drop off can be right there in the middle of all the buildings. There's a loop. Nowhere near as big as our bus loop, but half the size. Can fit about 30 cars, 40 cars. That's where you're going to need to be dropped off. If you look at the top where it says guest parking up at the top, that's where anybody who is staying, who is driving can park as well. It's a little bit closer. Unfortunately, the parking is $2.50 or $3 an hour for the parking. But if you're being dropped off, your parents can just drop you off and you can walk to the building that you're going to be testing in. Now, if you look at the big building there, building 3, there is a cafeteria inside that building. Inside that building is a cafeteria that will hold about 200 people, about 200 students. We ask that when you get there early and go there, we will dismiss you from the cafeteria. We don't want you going directly to the rooms because the proctors are meeting me at 7 in the morning for 6:45. We're taking materials and they're setting up the rooms in the classrooms. These are the classrooms that the college students are taking the exams in as well. And then we will dismiss you from building 3 cafeteria. So when you get to campus, if you forgot, oh my gosh, you forgot what group I'm in, go to the cafeteria. We'll be able to list there and we'll tell you what group you are by alphabetical order. And I'll talk a little bit about that in just a minute. So again, this map is on the back. Take a picture of it. If you guys have a chance during spring break to check out the campus, we're testing in building 2 and 3 is 90% of our testing. Building 1 is where I would be, my office there with all the materials, with the proctors. You know where the drop-off is, as well as where the parking is. We ask, again, the exams have to start at 8 o'clock, nationwide, not Wootton. So that means that everybody in the United States will be taking the test, with the exception of the time zone, at 8 o'clock in the morning. If you come at 8:05, you miss the exam. I'll repeat that. This is not like we are here at Wootton. These are AP exams, just like the SAT. College Board has these rules. If you come in while we're giving the instructions, you come in. Once you open up the packet and you are late, you missed the exam. You just wasted $96 for an exam because you were late. Now, if you're sick, you need to let me know, and I can put a request in for a late exam. The late exams are in the 2nd and 3rd week of May. After the 2 weeks of AP exams, look at that schedule. The week of 18, 19, and the 20th are makeup exams. Okay? So, make sure, as I said, go to the building 3 in the cafeteria, you check in, we'll dismiss you from there. There are going to be some exams that are going to be held here at Wootton. The check-in area will be this lobby here, and we will dismiss you here from this lobby to the rooms that we're testing in Wootton. If you notice, most of the exams, for the exception of the world language and a couple other exams on those days, will be housed here. Look at the schedule. It's the 2nd week, that Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're here at Wootton. So you have an exam at Wootton, it's at 8 o'clock. Come check in at 7 o'clock in the morning here in the auditorium. We will dismiss you to your exam. If you have an accommodation, whether the exam itself says on that schedule, College Board has specific things that you need to follow, all accommodated students will be tested in this building. So, if you look at your exam schedule, and it says, for the first one, let's just take Wednesday the 4th, English Lit. If you're taking English Lit and you have an accommodation, even though it says go to USG, you will have that here. All accommodation students will have their exams here at Wootton. But then if you're not an accommodation student and you're taking English Lit, you go over to USG. You need to be there at what time? It's 8 o'clock exam. 7:30. 7:30. Again, if you have an accommodation, all accommodations, no matter what exam it is, you report to Wootton. If it's in the morning, you report 7:30 in the auditorium here. If it's a 12 o'clock exam, it's 11:30. You meet in the auditorium lobby. So there's 2 places, depending upon your exam. You're taking your exam at Wootton. The check-in area is where? Here, the auditorium lobby. A lot of the exams that we're having here at Wootton will be in this room or some other rooms throughout the building or in counseling. So again, no matter whether, I'll say it one more time, Wootton, you have an exam, it says Wootton High School, you check in half an hour before the exam in the lobby. If you are taking an exam at USG, you check in half an hour early in the cafeteria. What building is the cafeteria in? Building 3, right there on your map. Okay? What you guys need to do, we have several proctors that are not teachers. They don't know you from somebody walking off the street or from a student from another school. So I need you to bring an ID. Some of you have student IDs, that's great. Some of you have driver's license, that's great. Learner's permit. Some of you don't have any of those. You can even bring in a passport, that's fine. If you don't have any of the things I just said, driver's license, learner, school ID, you can bring a gym ID. You know, you work out at the gym, you have a picture ID. You need a picture ID. If you don't have the picture ID, you need to work on getting a picture ID between now and the test. I need to verify who you are. I know a lot of the students here, but the proctors don't know anybody. They're not Wootton teachers. They don't know any of you, and they won't let you in. So make sure you have a picture ID. Okay? All of this stuff on what to bring is on the bottom of that map. Okay? Make sure, I know some of you have taken the SAT or the PSAT in other locations. We just did about 350 students here for the SAT. Same rules. Please don't bring backpacks. I call it the cinch sack or the string sack. If you want to bring something with a little water, a calculator, a pencil, or pen, that's fine. A small bag or a small purse. Please don't bring a big backpack. There's no room in the rooms to put your big backpacks. There's no need for it. Also, please do not bring any electronic devices. You can bring your phone, you're just going to have to set that aside. If anything looks like a smartwatch or a Fitbit, we're going to ask you to take it off. Do not bring any of those things. You don't need your own clock. You don't need your own timer. They're not allowed. If it makes any noise during the testing, it's a testing violation. That's another reason why you're not allowed to have phones. Okay? Obviously, for most people understand, you don't bring a phone to your test here. You don't bring a phone there as well. I know that you guys will need to get in communication with your parents to pick you up when the exam is over. So you're going to have your phones with you. We're going to ask you to put your phone in a different area. Make sure that when you walk in the door, you power off your exam and you show them your ID. When you power off your phone, you take your exam, we'll ask you to put your phone somewhere in the front of the building. Okay? Also, I've seen some students bring AP books and review guides. Guys, that's not a good idea to bring that morning because you don't want to see those out. And have that material out while you're taking the exam. We'll take your exam and it's disqualified. There should be no review material anywhere near you. So if you do bring it, you better keep it in that thin sack and put it away from you. If it's anywhere near you, you can disqualify your exam. Basically, the teacher's going to call your name. She's going to look at your ID, check you in, tell you to go sit down, find your name on the answer sheet. If you've got a snack, food, or drink, we're going to ask you to put it on a separate table. There is a 10-minute break in between the sections. That will be the time in which you can access your drink. but it needs to be taken out of your backpack. Okay? But no cell phone will be able to be accessed during the exam until all exams are collected, so it'll be at the end. Okay? Graphing calculators. We will not be providing. Every year someone says, oh, man, I've got my calculator. I don't have, we have over 600 students taking exams. I don't have 600 calculators. I will have 100 calculators. So you need to bring your own calculator. It's a graphing calculator in the biology, the physics, or the chemistry. Make sure that you put new batteries in it. Some students even have a backup or bring backup batteries, so that's fine. But I will not be able to provide you guys with calculators. Okay? During the testing, you guys are going to be given an answer sheet. It's going to look very similar to the answer sheet that you filled out for the SAT or the PSAT. It's got a lot of information on it. What we've done is very important, guys. With the answer sheets, there's a blue section of the answer sheet that you have to fill out for every single exam. If you have your first exam and there is a label, that information is stored, and that information saves you time so you don't have to fill out the rest of the answer sheet. And I'll talk to you guys about that in just a minute. Okay? Once AP exams are given, you'll return the student package. Everybody's going to get a student package. In that student package, you're going to peel off your identification number and put it on each exam. So if you're taking one exam, you peel off the inside, you're going to put it on the test. And then you can take the answer booklet with you. If you're taking 2, 3, 4, or multiple exams, you have to turn that packet back into us. So when we give you the answer sheet for your second, third, or fourth exam, you have that with you. We do not let students take the packets with them. And the reason why is because you lose them, then we have to give you a second packet, and it will mess up the testing. Because now you're going to have 2 AP numbers for the same student. So that packet is going to be returned every exam. And then when you're done taking all of your exams, you can pick that up. And I'll show you. This is the answer sheet. Looks pretty familiar. What I just said was, guys, as I said, if you see the blue, you will fill that in for every single exam. The purple you do not need to fill out because we will have a label on it. If you don't have a label, that means that you signed up for your exam late. You'll have to fill out all that information. Again, if you take an exam, your first exam has a label on it, you do not need to fill out the purple for that exam or any other exam. Okay? If you take your first exam and there's no label on it, you need to fill out all the blue and all of the purple. Okay? You only fill out the purple if you send your request in for the exam late. You see up in the top left-hand corner, that's the AP number. That's going to be from your student pack. The AP exam label on the right-hand side, the square on the top, that comes from the exam. You peel off the exam, that number. So there's 2 things that you're going to peel off. One is from the student pack, and one is from the exam. This is what the student pack looks like. You will get this. It will need to be brought with you every single exam. But when I will have it for you, because at the end of the exam, what are you going to do? You're going to turn it back into me. I will take that and I will put it in the next exam that you're taking. Okay? So again, your teacher will collect the exam material. They will also collect your student pack. You will get the student pack after the end of 2 weeks of testing.
No, Josh, your board down.
This tells you about the breaks. You guys can bring small snacks or drinks. You cannot leave the building. We usually keep the students in the classroom. I will say if you're at USG, there's other students, college students that are taking their exams at the same time that you are. So we can't have groups of students walking around making noise because you're disrupting the other AP classes that are taking the exam, but also other students that are taking college exams. That tells you about the breaks. Cheating, every year, unfortunately, I have one or two students that I have to disqualify their exam. Just know, when I put in a disqualification for your AP exam, that goes to College Board. College Board puts a little asterisk next to your name that you were caught cheating during the exam. That's not something that you want for your colleges to have that information. Again, I don't want to see anything. There should be no material at all by your desk. I don't want to see any answers on your shoes, on the frill of your hats, on your fingers, your arms, your hands. If I see it, you're going to automatically disqualify you. What you guys got to understand, College Board certifies each school to give these exams. They evaluate us every year. And we have one of the highest standings in the state of Maryland. Wootton does. One, because we get 3,000 exams, and we've had very, very few discrepancies or problems. That's because you guys are really good. I do things like this to let you guys know the importance of this information. But if anybody gets caught cheating, just know that it's going to be a mark with you, not only with us here at Wootton, but with College Board. Because I have to give them all your information to College Board. Okay? After testing, this is pretty much the standard. Proctor will collect your information. Again, remember what I said, the only thing that's different is they will be collecting the packet. This is just a reminder, if the exam starts at 8 o'clock, be at those designated places at 7:30. Also, lastly, the main thing, every one of you have a College Board account. If you didn't get an email from me, it's because you have an inactive email from College Board, or you've got your mom or your dad or someone else's email in there. And I understand, some of the parents sign you up on the College Board site with their email address. When I send the information out of where the class is and what room you're going to be in, it's going to that email. So please, one of the things you should be doing right now this week, check your College Board account. It takes 2 minutes to log in and find out what email you put down as your communication. That's how I'm sending information out. I'm not going to be doing Connect Ed. I'm going directly from that email. So it's an invalid email, it's your parents' email. You need to change it to your email so you get it. Okay? I will send that information out the night before. So, which is the 4th or 5th is the English lit. On the 3rd, I'll send out the exam information. I'll tell you where the room is. The rooms are not given out because they change. Like I said, at college, at USG, college students are taking exams. Sometimes my rooms change. So the night before, I make sure that all of those rooms are valid, and I'll send you that room number out. But again, you forget, or you don't know, you didn't get the email, go to the session, go to the section that I told you to go to before every exam in the cafeteria. Or 8 o'clock, or 7:30, or at 11:30, or 12 o'clock, or to the auditorium. We will tell you where you need to be. All right, and that's what I send to you to your email. That'll say, okay, you're taking U.S. history, you're going to go to the auditorium, A through K, that's where you go. Okay? If you're K through Z, you're going to go to room 3241 in the Crockett. And it tells you what building it is. One is in building 1, one is in building 3. That's exactly what you will see the night before. Okay? As you can see, accommodations, again, you have accommodation, all accommodations are housed here at Wootton. Come to the Wootton lobby in the morning, 7:30 or 11:30, and we will tell you where you're going to be tested. Alright, that's it. That's a lot of information. Anybody have any questions? If you do, you can come on up. Thank you, guys. In the back, make sure you did not get a chance. In the back is an attendance sheet. All that's showing is the exams next to your name that you're signed up for. So check it on your way out. You didn't check it on your way in.
Good to